Welcome to the Re-Entry Archive. Let There Be Light, a Yopo experience report taken from erowid.org. I got the anodonanthra seeds because it was the cheapest and seemingly most effective source of DMT available. I made the purchase via the internet and received the seeds along with some salvia. The first thing I tried to do with the seeds was crush them and smoke them, as another person on this site has tried. From this, I received a numbing in my legs and pain in the ears that lasted half an hour. If I was smart, I would have stopped there and never touched Yopo again. But I was stupid. The second thing I did was put a few seeds in the toaster and cook them until they popped, deshelled them, crushed them, and then snorted them. This gave me the worst headache I've ever had, and still nothing particularly psychoactive happened. Okay, so now I became even stupider. I took 5 seeds and determined to get some DMT out of them. I put them in the toaster for a much longer period. The result was that I burnt them. When deshelled, the inside was brown and disgusting smelling. I figured I'd ruined them and threw them out, but not before eating. Yes, I ate it, about half a burnt seed. Then I felt I was beginning to trip, but it was so late, so I went to bed. Everything was dancing and running through my mind, so I couldn't sleep for at least an hour. This inspired me to be even more stupid. Very stupid indeed. Today, I woke up bright and early and cooked about 3 seeds in the toaster until they popped. Then I crushed them and put them back in the toaster until they were near burning point, then crushed them some more, capsulated, and down the hatch. 10 minutes later, I got ear pain, morphing objects, dancing colours, and lights emanating from everything. 30 minutes later, I was puking. My body obviously did not like ingesting Yopo. So I took a look up from the toilet, and it seemed to change colour. Suddenly, it was no longer just a toilet, but 2 white circles of an infinity symbol. This struck me as deep, and for some reason, the entire Yopo experiment seemed worthwhile. I had barfed up what I thought was the entire lot of Yopo ingested. Yes, I know Yopo only actually refers to the snuff made from a relative of the Colubrina seed. But anyway, I thought the trip would end there. But I was wrong. I felt cold and wanted to lie down. I did. But whenever I closed my eyes, there were colourful images. Not the usual fun types, but fast things that jumped around in the brain. So I opened my eyes, and real objects seemed to do the same, buzzing, moving rapidly in place. My fan moved, and my ceiling would breathe up and down. I went to the bathroom and found that I didn't flush after barfing. And then when I tried to flush, it didn't seem to work. These things happened in my house, so instead I went to the one downstairs. Long story short, I think Yopo is a strong laxative. Anyway, the light in the bathroom was bright, due to the substance it was seemingly getting brighter. The floor was glowing and little lights danced through the patterns on the tile. Then a voice in my mind began repeating, "Let there be light." I realised this world was only visible through reflected light that reached our eyes. Suddenly the world seemed a lot stranger, almost unnatural. Everything looked the same as it always looked, but I noticed the immensely alien nature of how normal or mundane things looked. I was getting cold, so I went outside in the sun. As weird as everything in the house looked, everything outside looked all the more normal. I lay in the grass in the sun and began to rediscover nature, just as I had when I was very small. Back inside, the voice came back. I had come looking for answers, and I knew that Yopo had buried them within me. The voice told me never do any psychedelics again, as I would never need them. This trip lasted 2 hours on the dot, but now, after it, I feel completely at peace. I think it was all worth it, and I doubt I will ever be the same again. Yopo is definitely not a recreational drug. It is not fun, but at the same time, it is a serious and worthy teacher. This was a classic example of a psychedelic experience humbling a traveller who went into it with too much hubris and not enough care and respect. This traveller learned that seeking wisdom through force or desperation tends to invite chaos. Suddenly, everything appeared alien, as the traveller recognised that everything is viewed through a perceptual filter, and thus what we experience is not raw sensory data. Our senses don't upload true reality into our brains, but a combination of sense data mixed in with our expectations, understandings, and culture, along with what we currently think and feel about our surroundings. Just as psychedelics impair the accuracy of our sense organs, in waking consciousness, our perceptual filters do exactly the same. Quite rightly, the traveller came to the realisation that this psychedelic substance isn't recreational. But I think the truth is broader. I don't think any psychedelic should be considered recreational. This is not to say that these things can't be used recreationally. Of course they can. But even when used at recreational doses, they should be taken with an awareness of their deeper and greater potential. Some psychedelics have some recreational features at some doses, but a traveller needs to be mindful that as the dose escalates, any purely recreational effects dissolve completely.